The external environment. The external environment of a company is a very important element because it affects directly the company. All companies develop, grow in an environment. We have mainly two types of environment. The close one, which is directly in touch with the company, and the farther one, which is a little bit farther and has not direct contact with the company. What do we have direct contact with the company that affects the results of the company and affects the achievement of the strategic objectives are the suppliers. Suppliers are a very important component on strategic objectives and achievement of those. The substitute products, if you have any substitute products that can affect your own product, it will affect your strategy. Your clients, consumers, buyers, those are the reason of a company to exist, so they have direct impact in the achievements of your objectives. The possibility of new entrants, new competitors, especially if you have an industry which has a high attractiveness for them, it will be a problem. And then you will have the degree of aggressiveness of the rivals, which are the companies that are in your same industrial sector and provide the same product or service. Those elements will be developed are the elements that are in the close range of a company and that has direct effect in the strategy. These elements were developed by Michael Porter in his 1980 5-force model, which implies all the elements that affect directly the company. Other elements that are a little bit farther from the company that affects also the company's strategy and itself, which we can call the macro environment, are the, for example, general conditions of the country where the company is, global forces, perhaps a war in what place or a free trade treaty, the social forces. We have seen that in countries where we don't think there's any force in the social net, we have things happen. So these are important issues. Technological factors, change on technological themes can change all the rules. You can have a whole industry obsolete by a change of the technological way. Political, regulatory, and legal factors. In all countries, there's always new laws that change all laws and new things that put new elements into consideration with a strategic view. Because the strategy is a long term. In the long term, everything changes. So we must be prepared for that change. Also, we have to consider the natural environment, how our company and our products are affecting the environment as ecosystem. Can affect us also. And the demographics. Demographics affect us as a consumers, what ages are our consumers, where are they living, how is the family meant to be. In Latin America, you have strong family-centered. You have families of 4 or 5 and extended families living in the same house. In the northern countries, you have families more smaller and short-lived families because at 16 the child goes from the parents' home to their own housing. Those are the main elements that we have to consider when we are making this. So one of the first issues is how can we say that we are in an industry or we are moving to an industry that is attractive. Attractiveness is basically the degree of return of your investment in that industry. So there are industries that are more attractive than others, and there are some forces that make that industry more or less attractive. First of all, the rivalry among their competitors. Why the rivalry will affect? Well, it will affect because when you have a high rivalry, the cost of operating in that industry is higher because of the actions that rivals take and that the company that we are in has to take also to survive in that environment. Another thing is the power of the buyers. If you have buyers with a high power, they will press the prices down to achieve the best they can, especially if you consider in industries that are monopsonic, for example, governments. As if you have a consumer as a government, everybody will try to get the contract from a government, but the government will press all the companies in that industry to lower their prices. On the other hand, we have the power of the suppliers. If the suppliers have a high degree of power of managing, they will have a degree of force in the industry that will press the results and the economic results, financial results down. Why? Because they will try to get the most out of it. On the other hand, we have the substitute products. In this kind of situation, where you have different kind of the substitute product, you have to analyze what will be the cost for the consumers to change from your actual product to a new or substitute product. Substitute products do not satisfy at the same level the needs of the consumer. So we have to analyze the cost of shifting and how to make it. If the substitute product have a low cost of changing, you will have people that will easily go to the substitute product, therefore generating a lower attractiveness of the industry. And at the other side, we have the potential of new entrants. When the attractiveness of an industry is high, having large or interesting returns over investment, you will have more people, more companies that are interested in getting in. And with that pressure, it will lower the return over investment or the rentability and the attractiveness of their own company.